Sir, step out of the vehicle slowly.
I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm parked legally.
Step out now or I will remove you myself.
Officer, I'm an active duty military colonel. You have no legal basis for this stop.
I don't care what you think you are. Get out of the vehicle.
My ID is right here. My hands are visible, and your body camera is recording every single word you are saying.
The dashcam footage that would later go viral captured everything, every command, every response. And Sergeant Brian Holloway had absolutely no idea that the man sitting calmly in that Toyota Camry had spent 24 years serving this country, had survived 2 tours in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan, had medals on his chest that most officers would never earn in a lifetime. The man behind the wheel was not nervous. He was not angry. He was not begging. He was Colonel Marcus Webb, and he was about to dismantle an entire police career with nothing but his knowledge of the law and a recording device. Before we go deeper, drop a comment right now and tell me where you are watching from. And if you believe veterans deserve respect, hit that subscribe button. Because this story does not end how you think. It was a Tuesday evening in Memphis, Tennessee. Colonel Marcus Webb, 51 years old, was driving home from a military retirement ceremony at the local base. He was still in his dress uniform, medals visible. Rank clearly displayed. He had pulled into a gas station to refuel when the patrol car pulled up behind him, lights off, just watching. Marcus noticed it immediately. 24 years in combat zones trained you to notice everything. He refueled calmly, got back in his car, checked his mirrors, started the engine, and that is when the lights came on. He pulled to the side of the lot, rolled down his window, placed both hands on the steering wheel where they were completely visible. Sergeant Brian Holloway approached, 41 years old, 11 years on the force. He looked at Marcus, looked at the uniform, and still reached for his weapon, license and registration. Of course, Marcus said calmly, both hands visible. He reached slowly into the glove box. License, registration, and military ID all placed on the dashboard. Holloway barely glanced at them. Do you know why I stopped you? Marcus paused. Please tell me, because I am genuinely curious. Holloway did not like that answer. You were driving suspiciously in this area. I pulled into a gas station, refueled, and got back in my car. What specifically was suspicious about that? Your behavior drew attention. Whose attention? There was nobody else here. Sir, I am going to need you to step out of the vehicle. Marcus looked at him evenly. On what legal basis? Holloway's jaw tightened. I am giving you a lawful order. You are giving me an order without legal justification. Terry v. Ohio requires reasonable, articulable suspicion of criminal activity. You have not articulated any. Are you a lawyer? I am a colonel in the United States Army. But more importantly, I know my rights. And right now you are violating them. Have you ever been stopped by police for absolutely no reason? Type yes or no below right now. Holloway stepped back and called for backup. 2 more patrol cars arrived within 4 minutes. Suddenly, there were 3 officers surrounding 1 car with a decorated military colonel inside. Marcus did not move. He kept both hands on the steering wheel. His voice stayed completely level. Officers, I want to state clearly for the recording that I have committed no crime. I am not a threat. My hands are visible, and this stop lacks any legal basis. Everything happening right now is being recorded by my dashcam, your body cameras, and the gas station security system behind you. One of the backup officers, a younger man named Davis, looked at the military uniform more carefully. He recognized the rank. He recognized the medals. His expression shifted. Holloway did not notice. He was committed now. Too many witnesses to back down. Step out of the vehicle, or you will be forcibly removed. Marcus opened the door slowly, stood up. At 6'2" in full dress uniform, with 24 years of military command in his posture, he was an imposing presence. I am complying under protest, Marcus said clearly. This stop is unlawful, and everything is being recorded. Holloway grabbed his arm. That was his mistake. At the station, the watch commander took one look at Marcus Webb's military ID, his rank, his service record that came up immediately in the system, and walked directly to his office to make phone calls. Within 1 hour, the base commander had been contacted. Within 2 hours, Marcus was released with a formal apology from the watch commander. Within 24 hours, Holloway was placed on administrative leave. Marcus drove home that night and did 3 things. He called his attorney. He called the base JAG office. He called a journalist he trusted. The dashcam footage was released the following Monday. By Wednesday, it had 8 million views. Military veterans across the country were furious. Civil rights organizations were filing briefs. Legal experts on every major network were breaking down every single violation frame by frame. The phrase 3 officers surrounding 1 decorated veteran for refueling a car became a headline that would not go away. The internal investigation took 6 weeks. Holloway's record showed a pattern. Stops of black male drivers at 3.1 times the department average. Searches without probable cause. Reports with vague language like suspicious behavior and drew attention that never described specific criminal activity. The pattern had been there for years. Nobody had acted. Sergeant Brian Holloway was terminated. His union fought it, showed up with lawyers and arguments about split-second decisions and officer discretion. The watch commander showed them the dashcam footage. The union went quiet. Marcus Webb filed a federal lawsuit. It settled 14 months later. The amount was undisclosed, but sources confirmed it exceeded $500,000. Marcus donated it entirely to a legal defense fund for veterans facing unlawful police encounters. "I did not do this for money," he said in a press statement. "I did it because I watched my soldiers come home from war zones only to be treated like criminals in their own neighborhoods. That ends now." Holloway never worked in law enforcement again. In a local interview, he said he was just doing his job and that Marcus had been uncooperative. The interviewer asked what crime Holloway had suspected Marcus of committing. Holloway said he could not discuss an ongoing matter. There was no ongoing matter. There was never a charge. There was never a crime. There was just a black man in a parking lot and an officer who made assumptions. Marcus Webb still serves as a consultant to police departments across the country, training officers on constitutional stops and implicit bias. He has said this publicly. "I had a uniform, medals, and 24 years of service. And it still happened to me." Imagine what happens to the young man with none of those things. That is why this matters. Not for me, for him. What is your biggest takeaway? Drop it in the comments. And think about this. If a decorated military colonel in full dress uniform can be surrounded by 3 police cars for refueling at a gas station, what chance does everyone else have? Share this with a veteran. Share this with someone who needs to see it. Subscribe, because we tell the stories that do not get told. See you in the next one.